And the board is the first stop where people can feel that they have a voice. The stakeholder meeting in a public forum is what I suggested in the last meeting, which I said there would be consensus of. So that is being bypassed. I accept that because it's not the first time that the public is getting passed over. That genuinely concerns me. And I'm just going to leave it there.
With all due respect, the board did not provide direction to us to have a separate stakeholder meeting. And we are, the suggestion that in any way we are excluding the public from this extremely public process where, our staff has done a tremendous amount of outreach over the past few months to all of the stakeholders we know and have known for years are interested in this type of program. I find that misrepresentation, Mr. Watkins, offensive. It's not accurate. It's a misrepresentation of what this board is doing. And again, the public, it's on our agenda today for exactly the reason that if stakeholders are interested in this topic, they should come and talk to us. This is our scheduled board meeting. It's on our agenda, and I'm not sure what more we really can do.
What we could do is, as we said in the last meeting, when I asked this as, a future agenda item, there was consensus, or maybe I misread the room, that the stakeholders would have an opportunity more than 3 minutes to engage across a room and kind of get a better feel. The purpose behind that was to build trust at the board level. But now what I'm saying is that this is just going to move on, which was everybody's fear at the time. And that's okay. I understand the process. Everybody understands the process. We've gone through this. This is not a misrepresentation. I can point back to the record that is what the spirit of that conversation ended like that, even though the vote moved it forward. And I'm just going to leave it there. But I'm not misrepresenting anything. And what I am doing is pointing out that there's a shift. And I'll let the public weigh in on this.
Other comments?
I'm sorry. To see the undermining of institutions in this country that's happening right now is a function of people misrepresenting the facts. And it's so upsetting to me to see the facts misrepresented in this situation, to say that we're bypassing consumers, that we're bypassing patients, that we're doing anything except being very public, offering a public opportunity for people to speak on this item, having had many meetings prior to this, 3-hour experts at the board meeting, a long discussion at the last one. We did not direct anyone to do a follow-up meeting because we understood the process at the legislative level, which was a very public process with full-time staff, full-time members of the legislature who would be vetting this out very thoroughly, who have multiple experts on their team, and their job is literally to listen to the public. So I appreciate the public wants to be involved, and we want them involved, and the legislature's job is to have them involved, but to suggest that this board in any way, at any time, and I realize that I'm new to it, but has not included patient input is completely false. And making false statements from the dais as an appointed member of this commission is what undermines the credibility of institutions and why we see unelected billionaires destroying our government in this country. And so I can't do anything about Doge and Elon Musk, but I can say when it's happening at our board meeting, I must speak up and say, this is not right. This is not true. The board members did not say this, and what is being said is completely false and misrepresenting what this board is trying to do. And it's so upsetting to me because we see this pattern destroying our institutions and destroying our democracy at the national level. So I would ask that
Can I
We
respond
took
to
that into
that?
consideration.
I would like to clarify. Indeed, the board member is correct. The board member is actually 100% correct that the board did not instruct that we should have a stakeholder meeting. I infer that. That is the truth. And if that is the misrepresentation, my inference, in the spirit of the discussion, then absolutely I take ownership of that. But this is where I take exception. And I do take exception that somehow I'm undermining this board. I'm critical of this board because of our enforcement practices, absolutely. But I believe in this board as a foundational institution to protect the public. And my efforts here has all indicated that. It may not have been in the seam of how things are done, but it is from a huge, huge public protection background. Thank you.
Just do a check-in. There's a recommended staff motion to direct staff to work with the legislature to find an author for the bill to carry this particular proposal, and then a second part of that, which would be to authorize Vice President Helzer and me to work with staff, the legislature, and stakeholders to move forward with the proposal. Is there anybody who disagrees that we should continue to advance this? I'll ask the question that way. Indicate my alignment, Mr. Watkins, with you on making sure that the process is inclusive and that we have additional opportunities for stakeholder engagement in a variety of different ways. And I also want to share that I think there are going to be many, many opportunities for that stakeholder engagement, right? If we move forward today, I don't want us to lose the opportunity to have conversations with authors, which I really do think needs to happen